Hey there, and welcome back to Temporary Locals.
I'm Jared.
And I'm Megan. This week, we're taking you to the soul of the Caribbean, the Dominican Republic.
That's right. Is it the Caribbean or Caribbean?
I don't know. It's Pirates of the Caribbean.
It's parts of the Caribbean, but however, and I think, what's the Royal Cruise Line?
Royal Caribbean?
Yeah. So they pronounce it Caribbean, but if you've ever been to the Caribbean, the locals actually refer to it and they pronounce it as Caribbean.
Oh, I feel like 2 seconds in, it's already a hot take.
It's not a hot take. Anybody, if we have any listeners from the Caribbean, any island down there, let us know in the comments. How do you pronounce it? How do locals pronounce it? Because it's Caribbean, and I try to be like a local.
And you're going to have fun trying to, do that in writing. Anyways, guys, this is Temporary Locals. If you're new here, Jared and I are an adventure-loving couple sharing real stories and experiences from the places we've actually been. Sometimes we share places we've been together, apart, or we have guests on to share about places that we haven't been to yet. So whether you're planning your next adventure or just here for the storytelling, you're in the right place. And we'd love it if you'd subscribe and join us for the ride. We put out new episodes every week. And with that, we'll get into, I think you said you had a current event.
Yeah, a bunch of dingoes ate a lady in Australia.
Again?
Oh, did that happen before?
Dingo ate my baby.
That's real?
That was based on a real story. I was just listening to a Oh No Media podcast on this.
That's kind of messed up that people joke around about
that. The thing with that case though is nobody believed them, the family, that a dingo ate their baby. They thought something happened to their baby and they just said that. And to this day people don't really know.
It's possible that really happened, but it's kind of messed up that we don't know, and yet people joke around. If a dingo actually ate somebody's baby, that's pretty terrible.
Yeah, no, I think, I don't remember exactly how that ended, but they were at least charged, if not convicted.
Really?
Yeah, but then later kind of evidence was found that maybe it really was a dingo.
Jeez.
Or a pack of dingoes.
Yeah, it just kind of popped up on my computer today, and it said that there was a woman's body was found near Queensland, and the person that found the body, there was a pack of 10 dingoes around. So they haven't determined yet that she was actually killed by the wild dogs themselves. Could have been a murder, or it could have been natural causes, but it's looking like this woman was probably killed by a pack of dingoes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was the thing in the first story that people were like, that doesn't happen. Dingoes don't just attack people, but it's very rare at that point, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow.
It reminds me of, do you remember the zombie coyotes?
No.
You know what that is? No?
No.
So in Illinois, I think in particular, that state, there was packs of coyotes that had a aggressive strain or form of mange and scabies. And it would make these coyotes look all messed up, they obviously had mange and they looked all fucked up. But people didn't know that they were coyotes. People thought they were just abused or malnourished dogs.
Oh no.
And so people were trying to rescue these coyotes, and they were getting attacked by them. And so they actually had to put out a public service announcement to everybody in these towns, hey, don't try to rescue these dogs. They're not dogs, they're coyotes. And they called them zombie coyotes.
What?
Yeah. Crazy, right?
That is crazy. And I bet you it was a bunch of white ladies.
Yeah. Oh, he's so cute. In the arms of the angels.
Oh my gosh. Wow. You said that was Illinois?
Yeah.
When was this? Or are you not sure?
This was a number of years ago. But yeah, coyotes are spread all throughout the U.S. now. And they're pretty much in every state.
Yeah.
And I told you that one night driving home from through Rock Hill, I saw a coyote just on the side of the road.
Yes.
And I've seen foxes dead.
In city limits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember driving back by and that area that you said you saw, and you were like, yeah, this is where I saw the coyote. And I'm like, there's so much civilization
Yeah.
around.
And they will take your baby too. And
Well, that reminds me of like the, bears and stuff in like Gatlinburg and stuff.
yeah.
Pigeon Forge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's enough animal current events, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into the bulk of the episode. Jared's going to tell us about his trip to the Dominican. Was that 2023?
Yeah, this was, I think you and I had just started dating. This was like a month into our relationship, and I had already been planning to go. So yeah, it was like beginning of 2023, and yeah, the Dominican is a really interesting place. I really like the history. A lot of people go there for vacation and stuff. It's, one of those Caribbean islands that people visit, and it's pretty touristy now, but there's a lot of really cool history behind it, and it is, beautiful, obviously. So the people there are all really nice, really warm. I really like the culture. And so yeah, went to the Dominican and flew into Santo Domingo, which is where everybody kind of flies into. And that's the capital. And yeah, in the capital of Santo Domingo, and a lot of people, it's kind of like San Jose, where you kind of fly in, or in my opinion, like a Cancun, where you fly in and you kind of leave. But there's some cool history around Santo Domingo, and we'll get into some of that a little bit later. So yeah, that's yeah.
Awesome. I remember you going, and I remember some of the highlights, but I definitely don't know everything. It's not like we sat down and did a podcast about it at the time.
Right.
So I'm excited to hear some of your stories, and for the world to hear some of the fun ones that I've already heard.
Yeah. So yeah, flew into Santo Domingo and hung out around the city a little bit. It's a pretty bustling city. It's really cool. You get a good feel for the culture. There's a lot of traffic, a lot of cool shops and stores, and it's pretty much the biggest city on the island. But then went to Puerto Plata, which is another really popular hotspot, and that's up north from Santo Domingo. And so once we arrived in Puerto Plata, pretty much went directly to the beach, because it's right there. And so took a shuttle and pretty much pulled up on the beach and went right to the beach. And the first interaction I had with a local on the beach was there was a guy walking up and down the beach selling fruit. And so Matt and I, he asked if we wanted some coconut drinks, and we were like, okay. And he just had like a bag of coconuts, and just right there on the beach, he pulled out a machete and just started hacking away at these coconuts, and did his thing and handed us some coconut drinks, and that was within like 5 minutes of being there.
Hell yeah, I love coconut drinks.
Yeah.
And like, oh man, when they hack away at it and do the fresh coconut. I think the first time I experienced that was like either Key West or Cayman Islands. I can't remember which one, but I remember being like, man, this is paradise.
Yeah, and it's cool for locals because there's coconuts everywhere, obviously, because there's coconut palms all over the island, so they can kind of like supplement themselves and make money doing that. And they just walk up and down the beach, and we'll have coconuts with them, and they'll make you a drink right there. And so, but yeah, watching a guy walk up and down the beach with a machete was kind of like,
what's happening?
Yeah.
I'm in danger.
We're like, we'll give you our money. And he's like, well, do you want a coconut? And we're like, oh, you're trying to sell something. Okay. But yeah. And so, a big thing that I was interested in, aside from all the like obvious stuff in the Dominican, is the cigars. The Dominican is known for having really like high quality cigars, which I did get some of, but I ended up buying just like some random like locally made cigars from a couple of guys who look like Snoop Dogg on the beach. And they rolled them themselves and everything, and I kind of trusted what was in them, I guess. And yeah, they handed me some cigars, and this is the first time I had somebody like kind of show me that, like, a lot of I like cigars, as you know. Like, I'll smoke a cigar if we're somewhere nice. There's nothing like sitting on a beach somewhere and smoking a cigar.
Mm-hmm.
But I have friends and stuff that are like really into cigars,
Yeah,
that are like aficionados,
sure.
that like get the cigar magazine, like, and like,
Cigars Monthly or whatever.
yeah, and have like humidors that they travel with,
Yeah.
and have like special ways that they light them and special cutters and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like these dudes in the Dominican, like they live off cigars, but they don't have any of that shit. They fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And so he handed me these cigars, and I was like, and he's like, yeah, and I got a light, and I was like, okay. And I was like, I don't have a cutter. And he's like, man, just bite the end of it. I was like, okay. And so I still do that to this day sometimes. Like, if I have a cigar and I'm like, I don't feel like going to look for a cutter or trying to find one or buy one,
Mm-hmm.
I'll just fucking bite it.
Yeah.
Just bite the end off,
That's funny that you say that because, like, my dad got really into cigars. Like, he had a cigar phase, he had a bourbon phase. He still is into them now and, like, knows
Mhm.
how to take care of them, but isn't, like, searching out and getting them, delivered monthly or whatnot. But it's like, almost like, any other, not that smoking cigars is a hobby, but like in photography, they say like the best camera that you have is the one that's with you, the one that you have on you. Like, same thing. I feel like
Yeah.
just use what you have. You don't have to have all the fancy tools and
Right.
whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't in a position to like sit down and have like a relaxing, like, official cigar ceremony, and so I just, he's like, just bite it. So I bit the end off and smoked it. And that's kind of how they do it there, it's like, it's a very local thing to do, I guess. So yeah, so the beach in Puerto Plata was pretty cool, and we walked up and down the beach, and there was people in hammocks on the beach spending the night. People sleep out on the beach in this area. And one thing that we saw as we were walking up and down the beach is you have these little huts that are like directly on the sand, and they're like little shacks, little gift shops and stuff that people run, and they're pretty local. It's kind of cool. But one of them was the Dominican Walmart, and I think I showed you pictures of this.
Yep.
But there's like a shack on the beach, it's like a tiki hut, and it's got a big sign that says Walmart.
Yeah.
And I think they do that so that like tourists and people from the States, like,
Recognize it as like a store.
well, that, and are like, oh look, it's Dominican Walmart, and they get a picture with it, and then they come in.
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny, and so that was pretty cool. And
Yeah, you got me a pair of pants from there.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, they're really cute.
So yeah, I have pictures of the Dominican Walmart, which was a tiki hut on the beach.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Not the same kind of Walmart that we're used to here.
Yeah.
And
we'll put that on our Instagram.
Yeah. And another thing that I was kind of in search for, and it's something that I ended up getting you, which is one of my favorite things I've ever gotten you. And again, we had just started dating at this time, but I know I wanted to get you something aside from just some pants, right? So I was in search of Larimar. And for anybody at home that doesn't know what Larimar is, it's actually one of the rarest gemstones in the world. And it's so rare because it's only found in the Dominican. And even more than that, it's only found in a specific area of the Dominican, near some volcanic mountains. And so that's the only place in the world where it's found. So it's extremely rare and extremely valuable. But they have it for sale there. So they go out and they get it, and they mine for it, and they sell it. And it's this really beautiful blue, turquoise, aqua colored stone.
Yeah.
And I think certain stones actually will even change shade over time and stuff. And so I went into one of the beach shacks and walked in, because I was told that they had Larimar in there, like real. Because I'm sure that there's like fake shit that people try to sell and stuff too, and you'll see people selling it just like on the street and stuff. But I was told that there was like real Larimar in this particular shop, and so I went in and I went to the back, and there was a guy in there with long dreads, and he is what I would describe as a shaman. He looked like
Okay.
a shaman,
Okay.
right? And he had a cataract eye. So he was like legit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And he looked spiritual,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, are you picturing this guy?
Yeah. Oh, I'm picturing.
Okay. Well, I told him I was looking for Larimar, and he turned around and he pulled out a wooden box from underneath the counter, and he put it up top, and he opened the box. And I swear it was like, this is how I remember it anyway, is like light just came pouring out of it, like, oh, you know?
Yeah.
And inside this box were all these little stones. Some were big, some were small, stones of Larimar. And some were made into necklaces, some were made into bracelets. Like, I think I also got you a bracelet one. That one's not as legit. I think it is still real Larimar, but it's like, I think I got that at like a different type of like little shop or whatever.
Oh, so you didn't get it from a shaman?
No, the necklace I did.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The bracelet was I think I got just like wherever.
Oh, okay.
But no, the necklace, you can tell that's handmade.
Mhm.
The necklace part. And so I saw that and I was like, I want that. And so I bought you that Larimar stone from a shaman on the beach,
Hmm.
which you still have to this day, right?
Yeah. I just showed it to you before we.
All right. Well,
recorded
you
the
better wear
episode.
it.
Yeah, I didn't know the story of how you got it. You didn't go into all that detail. You did tell me that it was rare, and you were like, "This is super rare,"
Yeah.
but I didn't know that. Dude, when you were telling me the story about the shaman guy, all I can picture is, and I don't know if you're gonna get this reference, the movie Hot Chick with Rob Schneider and Rachel McAdams, where they get like the earrings and they like switch bodies or whatever.
Mhm.
There's like the earrings in the little box and like the lights like glistening off the gold earrings. That's like all I can think of.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Oh,
Oh, what
sorry.
a fun story.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Larimar's beautiful. It's like, I'm sure there's different shades of it, but it's almost like an ashy turquoise blue. It's like really pretty.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like, if they embodied the color of the water of the Caribbean into a stone.
Yeah. Well, it's made from like in a volcanic mountain area near Barahona, and it's very scarce due to the unique single source origin. It's got, it's challenging to mine for because it's really remote terrain, and it's it's they say it's like volcano blue.
Mm.
And it's very uncommon. It's again very rare, but a lot of people that go to the Dominican go there and bring back Larimar.
Yeah.
So it's one of the like main staples of the Dominican. It's known for that.
Yeah. Didn't you say it's like one of the rarest like gemstones in the world?
It's one of them, yeah.
Yeah. See, they lie about diamonds.
What do they lie about?
Well, people think that like diamonds they're so rare or whatever, but they're like one of the most like plentiful
Yeah, no,
gems out there.
they make you think they're super rare so that you spend tons of money on them.
Yeah.
They're, not as rare as you would think. And now they can make diamonds in labs. They can like 3D print them.
Yeah.
A
lot of stones, they'll do that too. Lab grown opal and sapphire and all the things.
And what's really crazy is that even though diamonds can be made in like a artificial diamond, is still the same. It's the same exact thing as a real diamond. It's like the same composite, and it's like they can essentially recreate a diamond in a lab, but they don't sell.
Yeah.
Because women want their diamonds to have been pulled from the earth by a slave child.
Oh my God. Well, no, I mean, I can see the lack of appeal for like a lab grown. It's like, oh, it wasn't like nobody worked for it.
Well, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, that's a problem because that's something that they try to solve is like because the diamond industry, like in the Congo and stuff, is horrible and it leads to slavery and like
Hmm.
immense suffering, and they call them blood diamonds for a reason. And so they started making them in labs, and they can even I think that even like lowers the price of them. However, people won't buy them. People don't like to buy them. They'd rather buy something that they deem as real, but it's like it causes pain and suffering for others. So
Yeah.
that's just human nature, I guess.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe that'll change. Probably not, but
I don't know. Yeah, so that's kind of like some of the stuff I did on the beaches around Puerto Plata. Aside from obviously swimming in the ocean, and it's got the beautiful blue turquoise waters. Another thing is, went to San Felipe Castillo in Puerto Plata, which is a historic 16th century Spanish fortress, and it was built for King Felipe II, and it was built back during the golden age of piracy, and it was built to protect against piracy that was really prevalent in that area of the world at that time. And that's another reason that I was really interested in the Dominican. I mean, that whole area of the world, like the Caribbean, as we all know from the movies, was a hotbed for piracy during the golden age. But the Dominican specifically had a really interesting history with like piracy and just how the Dominican kind of came to be. And which we'll get into a little bit more about that, with some of the other history and stuff behind that. But I was just really interested in a lot of that. And if you know me, then like I'm a history buff when it comes to that stuff. Specifically really interested in like ancient history, but even going back to like the golden age of piracy, I'm a real big fan of that time period. I think it was a really wild time. And yeah.
Okay.
So but the fort, San Felipe, it looks a lot like Castillo di San Marco.
Okay, like the star shape.
Star shape and the same sort of minarets and terrace and the just the construction of it, the architecture. It's Spanish, obviously Spanish style, just like Castillo di San Marco. It actually predates Castillo di San Marco, which we know as being one of the oldest masonry forts in the United States. But San Felipe predates it, and so it's a lot like that though. And we were able to tour it the way that we did in St. Augustine, and got to go up on top and kind of look at the cannons overlooking the bay and everything, and it was really cool. And it's just you have that beautiful, just like in St. Augustine, but even more so because the water's so blue.
Yeah,
is you have this beautiful fort, this Spanish style castle overlooking the blue turquoise waters with the cannons and everything. And so it was really cool to kind of learn about the history of that and walk around and explore that.
was it a self-guided tour or did you have a guide?
You can get guides, but yeah, no, just kind of walked around.
Yeah. Is it kind of the same? Like it's like a national park or?
I mean, it's a tourist attraction. I don't know that it's a national park. I don't remember. I mean, you obviously had to pay to go to it and go inside, but I don't know that it's any sort of. It's I'm sure like a historical monument, but I don't think it's attached to any sort of like national park or anything.
Yeah. Do you remember the conversion rate for US dollars?
I don't. It's cheap there.
Yeah. Felt like affordable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, so that was San Felipe. But some cool stuff happened after we left San Felipe. Because right outside of that area of the complex, outside the gate, there is a abandoned schoolhouse. And I just kind of noticed it as we were waiting and looking for like a taxi. And there's just like this kind of old decrepit building. And I kind of walked around and was looking at it, and it was just open. And so I went inside and I took some cool photos of it. but it was just an old schoolhouse, and you can tell that had been abandoned for a long time. And it was like, it's really cool, like Spanish style architecture, obviously. And there's still like chalkboards in there and like desks and stuff. And you can tell people have been in there, obviously. But yeah, it's just a lot of the stuff was left in there. And so I kind of explored that.
That is cool.
Yeah. And I took some pictures. So we'll post some of those pictures.
Did you write in chalk? Jared was here.
No. I didn't have any chalk on me.
There wasn't any left?
I wrote it in Larimar. But yeah, so that was kind of cool because it wasn't something that was obviously like on any sort of itinerary. It was like one of those things that you kind of stumble upon, and you know,
Yeah.
it was a cool story. So yeah, it was interesting. And then there was a lot of taxis and people waiting outside San Felipe, and they were trying to get people to like get them to go with them. And I mean, you know how that is.
Yeah.
And one thing that they have there, which is a lot like Asia in this way, is that they have like motorbike taxis. And bro, I saw a motorbike taxi. Okay. I saw this guy. There was a bunch of them, but I saw one guy in particular who was sitting on a motorbike and was a taxi. And he was probably like 400 pounds. Okay. Hold on.
Okay.
Had crutches with him and one leg. He was a motorbike taxi driver, overweight, with crutches and one leg.
Talk about grinding.
Yeah. And I thought, who picks that guy?
Did you pick him?
No.
What do you mean? Why not?
Just,
He might have been a discounted rate.
yeah, maybe.
He's out
Yeah.
there struggling, trying to feed his family.
Yeah. Maybe the less legs they have, the more the price goes down. I don't know.
Oh man.
But I just
Wow.
thought that was such a wild thing to see, you know? And it's the kind of stuff you see in a place like that, or in, you know, when you're in like South America. You see wild stuff like that
Yeah.
where you think you don't see that here,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. At least he
Um,
was getting out there though.
Yeah.
People here, you'd see that same person, but they're on a little cart in the Walmart parking lot.
Right.
Brr.
Yeah. And motorbike taxis aren't really a thing here either, not that I'm aware
No.
of.
Yeah, no.
But in other parts of the world, it's like you jump on the back of a motorcycle with somebody and they drive you around. They give you a helmet if you're lucky.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
There's people that I know that I'm not getting on the back of a motorbike with, you know?
Right.
Not to mention somebody like a stranger. I'm sure, you know, they're probably experienced or whatever, and that's a normal thing there, but man, I can't imagine getting on the back of a bike of somebody that I don't know.
Yeah. Especially in like a lot of these places where it's really chaotic.
Yeah.
You know, chaotic driving and traffic and stuff, like in Southeast Asia. You know,
Mhm.
it's like
Yeah.
it's yeah, but there's a in Southeast Asia they have their own version of Uber, and it's called Grab. And it's really big on like motorbike taxis.
Yeah.
But they also have like regular taxis and stuff too. But it's pretty much all but replaced Uber in Southeast Asia. And so
Okay.
I'm waiting to see if you start seeing that company pop up in other places. They kind of have like the market there, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Southeast Asian Uber, so it's like if you go there, it's kind of like what you do. It's like cooler to do that than Uber, I feel like,
Yeah.
you know. So,
All right.
yeah. So, another thing that they have in the Dominican, outside Puerto Plata, is a cable car. And it's unique in that I thought it was the only cable car in the Caribbean,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it may have been when I went on it, but I think there are more now. But it's still the first. It's the first cable car that they had in any Caribbean country. So
Yeah.
Did that.
Is it enclosed?
Yeah, it's an enclosed cable car. It's massive. It
Like a
takes
gondola?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have you ever been in one?
I mean, not. I've been like skiing, ridden them skiing, the cable cars, and they're like fully enclosed.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they have like glass bottoms.
Yeah. Well, and so you're going down the mountain, especially because you go up, but you go back down.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go down the mountain, every time you pass like a beam, it just feels like you're going to like hit it.
Yeah.
It looks like you're going to hit it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you're standing, it's almost like being in an elevator. You're standing in essentially an elevator with windows, and you're in there with like 20 people.
Yeah.
And you're just going down this thing, and it goes pretty fast too. And you're so high up. And so if you're somebody that doesn't like heights or doesn't, is like easily scared, it's probably not for you. But it was really cool to do that. And it gave you a really good view of the island below.
Yeah, sure.
And so that was cool. But what it took you up to was it took you up to views of Mount Isabel de Torres. And up at the top of that mountain is the Holy Redeemer statue of Christ. And it's like the famous statue of Christ that you see all over. You see it a lot in South American countries. Obviously, the famous one is in Brazil, in Rio. But they have one there. It's not as big, but it's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I remember from that is like there's a woman with a tiny little food cart up there, and we got empanadas. And dude, this was the best empanada I've ever had in my life. And it was a chicken empanada. It was a empanada de pollo. And I don't even like, me, I don't even really like chicken. So good.
Yeah. Oh, man. Street food. Nothing like it.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Delicioso.
We've
been doing our Duolingo. No, we haven't. Our owl's so dead.
Dude, my owl hates me.
It gave you attitude the other day. What did it say?
They always do.
It gave you a notification, and it was like...
It rolled its eyes.
Yeah, it was like, so you're just over it now? You're not going to learn Spanish anymore? I guess I'll just leave you alone.
Yeah. It's like a angry girlfriend or something.
Yeah, it's so passive aggressive.
It's like you haven't been paying me any attention. I'm just tired of this.
I'm just not even gonna try anymore.
Yeah, I guess I don't mean anything to you anymore. Yeah, and I like when the owl dies, when it's just bones.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh, your lessons.
Yeah, it's like our bananas just sitting off in the corner wasting away.
I ate bananas. Those poor bananas.
I had to throw 2 away today.
Oh man.
I know.
I go to peel a banana and it just falls apart because it's so fucking brown. That happened the other day.
It's like all fermented.
I went to peel a banana and it fell on the floor and splattered. I was like, ew.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should get better at eating those.
We need to either eat them or stop buying them.
Yeah, it's the toss-up.
I do eat bananas in the morning, though. Bananas are so convenient because they're so on the go. You can eat them in the car on the way, to work or whatever. Yeah. And they're filling. They are filling.
Yeah.
They're full of potassium.
You eat them in the car?
Yeah.
You're not worried that somebody's going to look at you weird?
I'm comfortable in my sexuality. I can eat phallic foods. I don't care. It's not like I sit in front of the school and do it or something.
Ew, what?
Exactly. That would be weird.
Oh my gosh, we are getting off the rails. But this is why we started HelloFresh. This isn't even a sponsor. I wish we were. But
oh, dude, HelloFresh, shout out, sponsor us.
Yeah, we just started it because we were wasting so much food. Now, I'm also still buying bananas on the side, but
yeah,
we'll figure it out. We'll get the ratio right one day. Anyways, back to the Dominican.
So yeah, I went and saw the Holy Redeemer Christ statue, which is a cool thing to do. It was really cool up at the top. They had some cool structures up there and stuff. I took some photos. We'll post those too. So yeah, overall, that area was really, really fun. Did a lot of fun things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The weather was pretty good when you were there too. You went like summer. It was like April or May
I
or
think
something.
it was May. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. So, those first few days, man, I smoked a lot of cigars and did a lot of exploring of the area. And one thing I also realized is that they have wild peacocks there in the Dominican.
Yeah.
And peacocks aren't native to the Dominican or to the, Caribbean, but I think peacocks are actually native to Asia. But I think at one point they brought peacocks there, like, and put them on the resorts and stuff for tourists or whatever.
Yeah.
But they ended up, I don't know if they brought females and males, because I think only the males have the beautiful feathers.
Yeah.
But so I don't know what happened. I don't know if they started breeding or what, but they're like everywhere now. And now they're like outside of the resorts and they're just like in the woods and stuff.
Yeah.
In the jungle. And so at night, I mean, you'll be in like your hut or your Airbnb, hotel, whatever, and you'll hear what I thought was cats. And I know I told you this, that they sound like cats.
Yeah.
And I've heard other people like debate this and be like, they don't sound like cats. And I'm like, dude, they sound like cats. Because I thought they were cats at night, like meowing
Yeah.
and stuff. And I asked somebody about the cats in the area and like how I'm just hearing cats all night. And they're like, no, dude, those are the peacocks. And I'm like, the peacocks? And then you'll see them walking around and you'll see them fucking, you know? They sound like cats.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
That is funny.
Just go on YouTube and type in peacock call or something. It sounds like a cat to me. So I thought there was cats everywhere, but
Yeah.
it was the wild peacock.
It's so funny when you're not used to hearing like an animal sound and you're, I guess, ignorant of it. Because we had that same experience in Costa Rica where we all thought the howler monkeys were like machinery.
No, your dad thought they were machinery. I was like, no offense if you listen to this, Jay, but I was like, that is definitely an animal. I was like, is that a jaguar? I remember thinking like, dude, how awesome would that be if our first night here, we hear a jaguar?
Yeah. Even the locals, though, were like, those are so rare. And
Yeah.
if you see one, like,
No, they are super rare. But I was like, man, what are the chances?
yeah, I know. I remember getting excited too.
But yeah, we told that whole story about howler monkeys.
That was our first episode of Temporary Locals,
That's right. Go check it out.
Costa Rica.
One of our more popular ones.
We were gunning hard. We did a lot of marketing on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, wild peacocks, and they sound like cats. And yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't there something in when you're like on the resort or wherever you were staying, you either didn't have electricity or you didn't have hot water for a certain part of the day or something like that? I thought they churned.
No, we didn't, and we didn't stay on a resort. It was like an Airbnb, but the resorts normally anywhere typically will have electricity and hot water.
I thought there was something specifically like at night, or maybe it was during the day that they didn't have electricity. They would turn it off to save.
No, there's islands in like Thailand and stuff that you only have electricity from, this time to this time. They'll shut the electrical off at like, 8 p.m. or something. I don't remember that in the Dominican. I think it's pretty developed in that way.
I swear I remember you telling me that.
Especially in the area we were staying in. I mean, we didn't have hot water in Peru.
I know, but I swear there was something that you told me like a certain period of the day, and I don't remember which made more sense to have. I think it was there was no electricity during the day, and they would turn it on at night, so you had lights at night.
I don't know. I don't remember that. Maybe, but
I swear I'm not making that up.
Yeah, I think the Dominican, maybe certain like more rural areas of the Dominican, that's how it is. But yeah, I know there's places in Asia and stuff where it's very remote, and so the villages and stuff, or some of the islands, it's like they shut the electric off at night and then turn it back on during the day. And a lot of those places you also don't have, hot water and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways.
Maybe. I don't remember taking any cold showers, but
Well, it was I think it was more electricity than water. There was
Yeah.
something about the electricity either like not being on, being turned off for a portion of either the day or the night. I can't remember which.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, okay.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, overall, did a lot of cool stuff. And another like cultural thing that I became aware of from visiting the Dominican was a special drink they have. And I realized that if somebody asks you if you want some mamajuana, they're probably not asking you if you're trying to smoke weed with them.
Yeah.
They're asking you if you want a drink because there's a local drink in the Dominican called mamajuana. It's like their national drink.
Okay.
And it sounds like marijuana. It sounds like people are offering you, pot,
Yeah.
but they're actually offering you a drink called mamajuana, and it's a traditional alcoholic drink. And it's made by like soaking a mix of tree bark, herbs, and spices, in rum and red wine with honey, and it's like a sweet, spicy, reddish brown elixir. And they claim it has like medicinal properties and aphrodisiac properties.
Ooh.
But I don't drink alcohol, so I obviously didn't try it. But we did get to go and see them make it,
Oh, that's cool.
like in the traditional way.
Yeah.
Everything's handmade. They actually go and like forage for the things to make it, and then they make it. They make it in like a cauldron essentially.
Yeah.
And I did bring a bottle back, not with the alcohol in it, but with the herbs and spices and the barks in a bottle. And so you can add your own alcohol to it.
Oh, okay.
And I gave that to Rachel.
Oh, okay.
That was what I brought her back. I thought that was, more of her kind of thing because it was alcohol.
Sure.
And but they call it the Dominican Viagra because it's supposed to be an aphrodisiac. So who knows?
There you go. Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, so I didn't try it. It sounds good based on like what's in it,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of things like that, they usually do sound good, and then you try them and you're like,
Ugh.
yeah. But you don't want to offend the locals, so you're like,
Wow, this is unique and different.
This fried guinea pig is so good.
Yeah.
So another thing that I really wanted to do, and I know I wouldn't be able to do obviously the whole thing, but was hike Pico Duarte. And Pico Duarte is the tallest mountain in the Caribbean. It stands at over 10,000 feet. I think it's like 10,174 feet. Exactly.
You think? You and I both know you just read that.
I was going to say 10,175 feet because it sounded more like I was guessing, but I think it's 10,174 feet. But yeah, so it's the tallest mountain in the Caribbean, and people hike it, but they hike it with like local guides and stuff and Sherpas.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes 2 to 3 days to hike the whole thing. So it's an overnight hike.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously I didn't do that whole hike, but I wanted to say that I at least hiked it.
Yeah.
And so I got to hike Pico Duarte, and it's named after Juan Pablo Duarte, who was a military general. He's known as like the father of the Dominican, and this is kind of some of that history I was gonna talk about. Is Juan Pablo was a like revolutionary in the Dominican, and he's a really important figure in their country. He's essentially like their George Washington.
Okay.
And so he was a military leader, but he was also like a writer and stuff. And he helped lead the revolution and help win the Dominican Republic their independence against the Haitians, who were the invading army at that time. And I think the Dominican, and I'm not reading this, I know this, that they won their independence, I believe, in 1844. And after that, despite being like a national hero, Juan Pablo Duarte was actually exiled from the Dominican. He was actually exiled twice. He was exiled and came back, and then he was exiled again.
Dang.
And he went to, of all places, Venezuela.
Oh,
And so there's a lot of history behind him. He's actually a really cool figure to look up and like look into. But he actually started a secret society in Santo Domingo, which is that area I was talking about that I got to go and kind of like look around.
yeah.
There was a specific road in Santo Domingo where they used to have their meetings because he started a secret society called La Trinitaria, which is the Trinity.
Yeah.
It's that was their name. They were called the Trinity because there was three main guys that were a part of this group. But Juan Duarte was the leader, and so there was a secret society who were like kind of working against the government at the time because they didn't agree with like the direction the government was going, and they wanted it to be like more democratic. I believe was kind of how the story went, and so he ended up. Even though he helped win the independence for the Dominican, he ended up being exiled. And so that's when he went to Venezuela. He had to flee, because he actually had a bounty on his head at the time. And it was like thousands and thousands of pesos for his, for him, captured. And which at that time was obviously a lot of money. And so, really cool story, really cool history. Like I said, a lot of those islands kind of get overlooked in the history books. You don't really learn about a lot of the history in some of those like smaller areas in the Caribbean. But when you really dive into like the golden age of piracy and like the, 18th century and the 1700s, and then you like look at like how all these little islands kind of wanted their independence and how they tie into like the British colonies and how they tie into the Spanish and stuff. It's like, it's a really interesting history.
Yeah.
And a lot of the like explorers and people from like the old world that were coming to the new world, a lot of them hit these islands before they made it to the Americas. And so, Columbus himself where did he go? He landed somewhere before he actually hit the United States. And so it's a lot of really fascinating history, but Juan Pablo Duarte is a hero in the Dominican. And so you'll see statues of him. You'll see like busts of him and stuff all over the city.
Yeah.
In Puerto Plata. I have a cool picture of him. It's a statue with him with the Dominican flag behind him flying.
Okay. Yeah. I remember seeing that one.
Yeah. And so, he's a big deal there. He's like their George Washington,
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. It is very cool. So that's that history side that I was interested in because, again, I'm very like into ancient history, but any place that I go, I'm very like, I don't know, I'm very geared towards like learning the history of a place. And so even though the history doesn't go back as far as a lot of the other time periods that I'm really interested in, it's like I still like to learn about these things and kind of know. I don't want to just walk by a statue and just like and not know like the story behind it or who it is.
Sure. Yeah.
And so we have a lot of history here in the States, and you see people come from all over the world and go to like Washington D.C. and they stand in front of the Lincoln Monument. They stand in front of whatever different statues and things, and so even Chinese tourists like to learn the history of the United States, even though their nation, their history goes back thousands of years and ours is only a few hundred years old. It's like it's still such a rich history.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good comparison.
Yeah. So so learning about him was really cool, and kind of seeing like their national pride there is really, really interesting too. They share a landmass with Haiti, but it's like two separate worlds, man. And the Dominican is like such a cool place, and the people are so nice, and it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got to work on my Spanish.
Yeah. Didn't you got a tan there? You tan really easily. And I remember you telling me like people thought I was Dominican.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a few women that were like, thought I was, or maybe they were just saying this to make me like feel, I don't know, but they thought I was Dominican. And I was like, no, I'm a gringo. They're like, oh, Poppy. So
no, I could see it because you were there. It was like 2 days you were there, and you had like your whole summer tan already.
yeah,
you were pretty dark.
I do tan really easy.
Yeah.
I'm a mix, so I'm part Irish, but I'm also part like native, so I'm like naturally kind of dark.
Yeah.
I'm not like pasty white like a lot of Irish, so um, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the summer I get dark, man. I tan, and I get really
Yeah, you
dark.
do.
But another thing that I did, that was one of the coolest things I did while I was there. I went to Monkeyland and got probably some of the coolest photos I've ever taken,
Yeah.
which we'll post. And it's a monkey sanctuary right there in the Dominican, and you can go in, and I'm sure they have many of them. This one was called Monkeyland, and you go in, and you're with a group, and you go through these doors, and then there's like an outside area with like a little forest area. It looks like a botanical garden. And they tell you before you go out there, like, when we release the monkeys, they are going to jump on you. They are going to crawl on you. They're going to, don't have like hanging jewelry.
Yeah.
Don't have anything valuable. They are going to take your stuff. They're going to try to, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay. So you go in, you sit down. First, they bring the people in, and you sit on these benches and you wait. And then they throw some food on the ground, and then they release the monkeys. And there was like hundreds of monkeys.
Oh my gosh.
And they just swarmed everybody, and they're crawling all over your shoulders, and they're crawling on your head. And I have photos of me with like 3 and 4 monkeys on me, and I have like one on my head, a few on my shoulders, like one in front of my camera.
Yeah.
Like, I got some really cool photos just by sitting there, and I would just like have my I had my phone. I didn't obviously take like my camera in here. And so I just had like my phone, and I just had like the front facing camera.
Yeah.
And I was just like snapping photos while they were just jumping and crawling all over me.
My favorite picture is the one where you had your eyes closed, but the one monkey had his little hand on your eyebrow and he like forced your eye open.
Yeah. I'll have to find that photo.
Yeah. It's so funny.
There's another photo that's like one of my favorites, and it looks like we're in like, it looks like it's the album of a rap cover, like a album cover for like a rap group or something.
Yeah.
Because it's like me, and then there's like a few monkeys on my shoulder, and then there's one like in the front of me, like looking at the camera, and it just looks like we're like homeboys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Squad.
Yeah. We look like a straight up squad. Yeah. And but everybody got pooped on.
Yeah.
That was like a given. Like, you're gonna get pooped on. So we all had like monkey poop on us, because like they jump up on your shoulder, and you wouldn't even really notice it because there's so much going on. Like, it's so chaotic in there.
Yeah.
Because there's just people everywhere, and then there's monkeys everywhere.
Yeah.
And these monkeys are just jumping everywhere. And a monkey will just like poop on your shoulder, and you won't even notice it at first. And then you like look down, and it's like, oh.
Gross.
But it's just monkey poop,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That looked really fun.
Yeah.
Minus the poop, but, it's part of the experience.
Yeah. And it's a really crazy experience for like kids.
Yeah, I bet.
Because if there's kids in there, man, those kids are going crazy. And they have to like tell people like, let the monkeys. And the reason that like the monkeys are just kind of jumping all over you and stuff is because they tell you, don't try to touch them. Like, don't try to grab them. Don't try to grab their tail.
Yeah.
Like, they will bite you. Just let them do whatever they're going to do. So if they're going to climb on your head, just let them climb on your head. Don't try to like hit them or like knock them off or try to like push them off. Just let them crawl on you.
Yeah. You're their enrichment. So they're investigating. Let them do what they're going to do. Sure.
Yeah. And they weren't scared of people at all. I mean, they were just like swarming all over everyone. So that was definitely a highlight of the trip, because I really love monkeys.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of really cool experiences with monkeys in Costa Rica that weren't in a setting like that. That was like
they were just in the wild.
Yeah, just in the wild, like with wild monkeys. I mean, we talked about howler monkeys, but like the capuchin monkeys and stuff.
Yeah, dude. They were so cool.
They're so cool, and they're so cute.
Yeah.
These, I think, were squirrel monkeys or spider monkeys.
Yeah, they were smaller.
Yeah.
They're a lot smaller than the capuchins.
Yeah. And so, I really love monkeys, and they're one of my favorite animals to like interact with, especially, and seeing them in the wild is like one of the coolest things. I think the only thing that may beat that would be like to see a jaguar
Yeah.
or some sort of big cat.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was Monkey Land, and anybody that goes to the Dominican, I suggest checking out Monkey Land. It's a really cool place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
So yeah, I think I was in the Dominican. I think it was over a week, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
And so yeah, I spent a lot of time laying out in the sun. I got super tan. I smoked a lot of cigars, hung out, talked to a lot of locals, got rare gemstones, played with monkeys, hiked a mountain, learned some history.
Yeah. Sounds like an all inclusive vacation.
Yeah.
Not in the like traditional like resort sense, but just like everything that we would want out of a vacation.
Right.
The views, the experiences.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when a lot of people think of the Dominican, it has this like negative like connotation to it, that it's like super touristy, which it is obviously. All these places are, but you can find real experiences anywhere, and I think that's part of like what we do here and what we kind of talk about is it doesn't matter where you go. You don't have to go to the most remote rural village in the middle of nowhere in Asia to have a real authentic experience. You can have authentic experiences anywhere. You just have to seek them out. And you just have to like be willing to put yourself out there and talk to locals and figure out like what they do and where they go and how they live.
Yeah, exactly. That's the embodiment of temporary locals. You have to connect with the people and in the places that you're going.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're still an outsider. You're still a tourist or traveler or whatever word you want to say. But yeah.
Right.
Being a temporary local, immerse yourself in their culture, and it really makes for awesome experiences. You can have those experiences anywhere too. Like we talk about, we've been in places in the U.S. in New Orleans, where the culture is not really different. It is, because I mean New Orleans was kind of a bad example, but you can find unique experiences anywhere. It doesn't have to be, an island in the Caribbean.
Right. And that's another thing that's really awesome about the US is that it's so big and so vast, and it's so different everywhere, is that it is very different culturally depending on where you go.
Yeah.
New Orleans is a completely different city than New York City.
Yeah.
Than Miami, than, California, LA, or, any city. Like we got the deserts out west, and we got the swamplands out east, and we got, the frigid north, and everything in between, all the plains and everything. The U.S. is such a vast country that that's why so many people come here. A lot of people come from other countries to come see the U.S. because there's so much different things to see.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing your Dominican experiences.
Yeah.
From the Dominican Republic. Well, that is it for this week. Thank you guys for listening. You can find us on Temporary Locals, Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. We're also on Instagram, where we'll post pictures to kind of supplement each episode at Temporary Locals Podcast. You can find Jared on Instagram at Rover_Stover, and also on YouTube at Rover Stover. And you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook at Mego Goes Global. And with that, if you guys made it this far, please share the episode. If you think it's worth sharing, give a like, give us a comment, or leave us a review. It really helps us out.
A good review, yeah.
Yeah, only 5 stars. Anything less than that, just don't waste your energy. It's fine.
We're also dropping this one a day late, so we apologize for that.
Yeah, all of our fans were just screaming at us, like, where's the episode?
Yeah. Well, we used to drop them on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And then we started on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So it's kind of either
We
or.
didn't really take a holiday break though, so I'm
No.
I'm saying that's our little holiday break is, we're a day late
Yeah.
to us.
Yeah.
Well, with that,
I'm Jared.
and I'm Megan. Thanks for exploring with us.
And remember, be a local anywhere you go.
Bye.
Bye. Bro.
59 minutes.
Oh my God.